An introduction to scripts. So this is from the work of Barbara Muhl, a spiritual teacher, the author of Script, Kid and Fantasyland. She was a student of the famous Joel Goldsmith, famous spiritual teacher. You can find lots of his work on YouTube, and there's lots of books out by Joel Goldsmith. And Barbara, she introduced the coin of inner scripts. So let me tell you what inner scripts are. So as you've learned so far with the set model, people create stories which play out in their life. And when they tune into the character of the story, it's like an archetype, which acts like a character in their play. So people can have characters, oh, they're nameless, but there are so many, like the superhero, the schoolmistress, the vixen, the abandoned child, etc. They play out their repressed emotions, negative feelings, critical self-talk, and unhealed parts through this story or this script that we play out in our life. These unhealed parts or inner scripts, as spiritual teacher Barbara Muhl calls it, have been given many other names by other teachers, such as the shadow by Carl Jung, the famous psychologist, subpersonalities by Dr. Hal and Sidra Stone, which we'll discover more of, and obviously Barbara M. Muhl, who we're talking about here with her scripts. People seek the help of a coach or a therapist when life becomes painful or unbearable. Often the catalyst for change is a reoccurring theme or pattern that seems to show up in their life that they just can't seem to break, such as recurring job losses, relationship breakdown, family strife, financial crisis, ill health, conflict at work, etc. Sometimes they may arrive bewildered and exasperated about why this problem is happening to them again. When you take a case history and listen to a person's story, it can be uncanny how early childhood experiences, which may have caused them to shut down, shut off, reject, or neglect a part of themselves, creates a pattern of unhealed behavior cycles, which repeats itself again and again. Even when people are with different partners in different careers, even living in different parts of the world, there can still be a common thread, a common theme which runs throughout their life. So why does this happen? Why is it that people attract certain events into their life? What is it that attracts and magnetizes these situations over and over again so that they experience the same painful wound time and time again? It's tempting to believe that the problem will be healed with a new job or a new home, a new partner, etc., a different set of circumstances, whatever that might be. But as we know, that is only changing the outer circumstances and not changing the inner cause. Part of the answer lies in the fact that we need to understand ourselves deeply to correct our dysfunctional patterns caused by our incorrect thinking and the presumptions and judgments we made as a child. So what does it mean to understand yourself exactly? Well, Carl Jung calls this individuation. Abraham Maslow calls this self-actualization. And Plato stated, know thyself. All of the above statements mean the same thing, to know what is hidden or left unresolved in the subconscious mind. Carl Jung called the shadow, this is the part of us that we would rather hide or not face or keep repressed. But face it we must if we want to live wholly, fully integrated lives and have an adult fulfilling relationships. As Barbara Muhl says, we must address our inner scripts and heal the kid, which means hurt part of us that's stuck as that child playing out through our life and relationships. If these scripts and unhealed parts of the inner child are left unattended to, we get to the point in our lives where we simply feel stuck because we've not yet understood, healed, or reframed some of the more basic conclusions we made as a child. As we know, our core beliefs are made from our experiences, and these beliefs can be formed from the assumptions and conclusions we made as the unaware child who at the time felt afraid, abandoned, separated, and not good enough. Therefore, a belief system was formed in the child, and as the child grows, reality forms a perfect mirror image of that child's belief system, mirroring back to them their deep subconscious beliefs about themselves, reality, or other people, or the world at large. As children with immature brains, we cannot understand the complexities of adult life and adult situations. We make every experience mean something about us. For instance, if dad left, a situation where dad left, therefore child might believe that they weren't good enough for dad to stick around, or if only they had pleased him more, he would have stayed for them. Every negative, painful event has to mean something. As humans, we need to form meaning, and as a child, with our narrow view of the world and our limited thinking, we make it mean something about us. Metaphysically, we call these conclusions our inner scripts. We internalize the emotions attached to the event and repress the pain and trauma it caused, and we spend most of our life living out our unhealed trauma in the form of a script, living in what Barbra Muhl calls Fantasyland, telling ourselves that one day a knight in shining armor will come to your rescue, or one day when I reach financial success, I will be recognized for who I really am. But this is simply a fantasy, and we must tear the fantasy script up if we're ever to face the truth, face our shadow, own our script, and write a new one. If we think of the universal law of attraction, we know that the universe is creative. It obeys our choices and gives us back exactly what we choose. So it will give the child back a life which appeared against it, when nobody cared and they didn't feel good enough. Scripts are magnetic. They act as an archetype which emanates through our auric field via our chakras. This magnetic power draws to us events which continue to reinforce our view of the world according to our script. Each time a script is repeated, it becomes more powerful and more uncomfortable. The law of attraction ensures that whatever we believe to be true is brought to us again and again. Barbra Muhl, the main teacher on the script, describes scripts as a catch-22. Scripts find the people and events to fulfill them. They get reinforced, and our belief in the script gets stronger and stronger, and is even perpetuated lifetime after lifetime. We set our personal relationships, friends, business colleagues, intimate partners, even children up to play the role in our play. It's as if we go around giving out our scripts for our personal play to each and every one we encounter. These scripts contain instructions about the story of our life and how people can treat us. For example, if we've written a script that people ignore me, then we might get angry when friends and business clients won't return our calls. Partners will not hear what we say, and we may even get ignored by the most simplest of people. And it literally is just reaffirming our script or our belief system. It's amazing the way it works. Until we recognize our own inner script and tear it up, it will continue to draw events and life lessons to us. And you can always spot a script playing out in someone when they overreact to people, jump to conclusions, and are emotionally triggered for no real apparent reason. People who've tried therapy or self-help groups often say, well, I've done a lot of work on myself, yet I still seem to get into the same old pattern, or the same old argument with my partner, or the same conflicts at work, etc. People still seem to be able to press my buttons. Barbara Muhl explains that unless someone is fully aware, they are powerless not to read our script and play the part we set them up for, and we are powerless not to play out their scripts too. Which is why some of these niggling patterns keep repeating themselves as we keep meeting the same type. Certainly, huge progress can be made in our spiritual journey. However, without taking the time to go back and heal these scripts, patterns will continue to repeat, and these emotional triggers can draw us off course. We must become aware of our scripts and our stories by going back and healing the child, or as Barbara puts it, the kid part of us. We must stop living in fantasy land, believing all our problems will be over someday when. We need to become a fully integrated adult by taking ownership of our script and rewriting it. There is an activity for you to do to discover your script in the materials section.